Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku. And it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hey, the Mavericks drafted Cooper Flagg with the #1 overall pick, supposed to be a generational talent. That's what many are hoping, at least suggesting. Well, the Mavericks already lost a proven generational talent, a proven superstar in Luka Doncic 5 months ago when their heart was literally ripped out of their chest, 1 freaking centimeter at a time. But Mavericks fans might be able to forget the great Luka Doncic if and only if Cooper Flagg can bring them a ring, especially if he can bring him a ring before Luka Doncic. Shady McCoy, Luka Doncic, Cooper Flagg, who wins the ring first?
This is a crazy question, right? Because this should be a landslide of Luka. Imagine when LeBron James was in the draft and we said, hey, who wins more championships? Kobe. Well, Kobe, I guess he had some rings at that time, right? But like a guy at that level, though, guy's a scorer that's an all-NBA every other year, first team, and you asking this question. And we talking about LeBron James in high school, how big he was. Cooper Flagg, I think he's good. I don't think he's generational. I don't think he's LeBron. It's got to be Luka. We haven't even seen this guy play in the league yet. And then when you look at him, he don't jump out as generational, does he?
No, not Flagg.
The generational?
No.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to a good team where he could be the third option. And I like that for him because you can develop yourself. You don't have to rush to be the franchise savior. But it's got to be Luka. I think Luka's already been to 2 finals, right?
1, yeah. NBA finals?
Yeah. 2 conference finals.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, he lost to the Warriors. I'm tripping, my bad. Yeah. So 1 finals and then 1 2 times, Western Conference finals. So I like what I like out of Luka. I think he's playing with the Lakers. And one thing about the Lakers, they always gonna get them a superstar. And when they get a superstar, they build around him. And eventually they're gonna get their championships. If it's Magic, Kareem, if it's Cole, if it's Shaq, if it's, you know what I'm saying? They gonna find a way to get a player. So I'm going with Luka.
My answer has more to do with Luka than Cooper Flagg, but I want to say Cooper Flagg. Only because until Luka proves to us that he can get in the necessary shape it takes to win a championship, I have to assume Luka can't win a championship. If Luka was showing us that he was going to get in shape year after year after year, and he was falling short because of maybe an arbitrary missed shot, an arbitrary deficiency, because of Kevin Durant, that big toe that kept Kevin Durant from advancing to the conference finals when he lost to the Bucks, if Luka was losing because of arbitrary deficiencies, and I would suggest Luka Doncic easily, but it's Luka dictating him not winning a ring. And until Luka shows us that he's going to get in the necessary shape it takes to win a ring, I have to assume Luka's not going to win a ring. Thus, the answer must be Cooper Flagg. It's not that I believe Cooper Flagg will be a better player. He won't. It's not that I believe Cooper Flagg is more talented. He's not. But right now, it's almost as though I'm betting for the field more than I'm betting for Luka, only because Luka hasn't shown me he can get in the necessary shape yet. Can Luka? Maybe. But we have a 7-year sample size, people. A 7-year sample size. And y'all know this watching the show. It's easier to get in shape when you're younger than it is when you're older. So for that reason, I'm saying Flagg, not because Flagg is better than Luka, but Luka will not win a championship until he gets in shape. And we have 7 years of evidence to suggest that. Please, go ahead.
I cannot let that pass. Right? Y'all just sit there like, Don't shake your heads. I don't get that. So you telling me that you don't believe in Luka, but in a player you haven't even seen in the league, you think he... Help me understand that.
So it's not even that I believe in Flagg. It's not. I don't think Flagg's going to be the best player on a championship team. I think Flagg can be the second best player on a championship team. So even the verbiage of, like, it's not Flagg leading his team, but it's this, Shady. I don't think Luka can win a championship until he gets in shape. And Luka's shown us for 7 years straight he's not getting in shape.
My hard part for me to just let that take go is because we've seen Luka out of shape as you want to say he is. Bro, he's went to 2 Western Conference finals, and he's been to the finals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cooper Flagg, I mean,
he hasn't done nothing.
He hasn't
done nothing.
He hasn't even made it to the finals.
He hasn't made it to the league?
No. Finals, I said the NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't been there. And Come on,
It's just, I'm just betting against Luka.
Stop doing this.
A slick follow-up.
Well, the thing hanging there is the Dallas, for all that Luka did, the Dallas Mavericks traded him. Why did they get off of the Luka Doncic ship?
Bad GMs.
He just went to the finals.
Bad GMs.
Well, I don't know if it was the GM or it was the ownership. There was the $345 million we're going to pay him going forward. But they were nervous about whether he could make good on that $345 million, right? What made them nervous? To your point, that he had done all this, but we're worried that the conditioning is going to mean that he's not going to do this going forward. And if the question was, who's going to win a championship, lead a championship team first, then I would say Luka Doncic, without question. But I look at the opportunity that Cooper Flagg has right now with the potential of playing with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving and a supporting cast that has been to the finals. And I look at where Luka Doncic is with the Los Angeles Lakers. We're still a full year from moving on from LeBron James and building a team around Luka Doncic that could potentially go someplace. And it took the Dallas Mavericks 6 years to build that team, to finally get the right pieces around him. So I'm just looking timeline. Like, I think Cooper Flagg has the opportunity, dark horse contender or not, has the opportunity to win a ring in the next year or two if everything falls in place for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't see that for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think there's so much work for them to do, not with Luka necessarily, but with the roster around him, that I'm going to give the edge to Flagg.
So we got a dude that's 5-time first team All-NBA.
That ain't hard, James, huh?
5-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. And we saying we got more faith in the dude that's not generational. That's a third option. That's coming into the league that ain't got 2 points yet. No, he ain't got 1 point. He ain't got 1 point yet to get to the finals before a dude that has already
win a ring,
been,
not get to it.
That win a ring that has already been to the finals and been to a Western Conference final. I think this is crazy. And I think the answer is Luka, and I think it's a landslide. And the main reason is I do believe the Lakers is going to build around Luka. Right? As much as we worried about Luka's health, Anthony Davis be shredded, he be thin, he be jumping out the gym, he be hurt.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? So as much as we want to talk about Luka's health, Anthony Davis be hurt too. I don't think Cooper Flagg could carry a team without Anthony Davis to a finals. So that's in question too. I've seen Luka make names for a lot of dudes that we talked about that's on this championship caliber roster that the Mavericks had. Luka made them boys better. Luka took them dudes there. So I have seen Luka with not a lot of pieces around, especially superstar pieces around him, get to the finals and the Western Conference Finals. But I know the Lakers are going to bring, when LeBron goes, some superstar talent around him so he can be able to compete. I got my money on Luka getting to the finals.
Not getting to it,
and winning that thing.
How many rings has Luka won?
0. Same as Flagg.
How many rings has Anthony Davis won?
1.
How many rings has Kyrie Irving won?
1.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what's that?
It means I got guys who have done it on Cooper Flagg's size, and I have LeBron James who's on his way out the door, and who else with the Los Angeles Lakers? It's not, don't confuse it. I'm not saying that Flagg is somehow better than Luka Doncic or has more championship potential. I'm saying that the team that Cooper Flagg is with as of right now has more championship potential than Luka Doncic, who has gotten there, but he's never done it.
But how much better is Luka than Cooper Flagg?
Oh, substantially.
That's not my argument.
But what I'm saying is he's that much better. He can cover up some of that stuff. Yes, he's on a better team. We all know that.
But he has to cover up. That's, and you know what? I love the way you framed that, though.
We've seen it.
Right, but not enough to win it.
That's my dilemma. Like, 2-5, my question for you and both James is, do you think Luka Doncic, without improving his defense and without improving his shape, do you think Luka Doncic can win a ring? Because I don't.
Well, like a lot of the NBA players say, man, for him to be so out of shape, we watched him get 30-something points and take his team to the finals. I don't know how you can get in better shape, but that's pretty darn good to take. And I don't know what his workouts. He might be training his butt off right now. This is what I do know, though. I know that you guys are speaking about, it's disrespectful, low-key. You're speaking on a college player that hasn't touched has 1 minute in the NBA to a player that's always first-team All-NBA that's took his team twice to the Western Conference Finals. And another thing is, I love Kyrie Irving. I love Kyrie Irving, and I like AD. Them dudes ain't driving no buses and be leading these teams. Y'all speaking on them championships like they leading the team. No, y'all got in the bus and Bron drove both of y'all to the promised land. That did happen, correct? Mm-hmm. So now when you add AD, you add Kyrie, I don't know what that looks like. Y'all act like that's like, a matchup that's going to go straight to the finals. Because it is the West. I don't know if y'all forgot. It's some dogs in the West, correct?
Yeah.
And I think Kyrie Irving and AD, hopefully that is a good matchup. But I don't put them here as like elite. You tell me right now, you put the Mavericks with Kyrie Irving 100% healthy. AD, I can't even say 100% healthy because he gets hurt a lot. But cool. And then Cooper Flagg. They just top 3 in the West right now.
You know what? Let me frame it. Let me
don't answer your question.
For you the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's my fault because
I know the way you're looking at it.
I'm not looking at it as who wins a ring first, Cooper Flagg or Luka Doncic.
Team.
I'm looking at who wins a ring first, Lakers versus Mavs.
The team.
And it just so happens that Doncic is with the Lakers and Cooper Flagg is with the Mavs.
But my thing is that the favor shouldn't go to the Mavs. They older and they be banged up. Kyrie Irving's what, 32?
32.
Off an ACL
33.
injury? That don't matter. AD's always hurt.
No. He's not always hurt. The last 2 years, for the most part, he had a 2-year stretch where he was not.
Ooh, okay.
Right when he got to Dallas, he got hurt, didn't he?
What's that?
Soon as he stepped on the court, he got hurt.
Yes.
My family are Laker fans.
It was a recurring injury from what he already had.
When he touches the floor, because they hoping he get back up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad Slick cleared that up like that because I was about to say Lou Dort got a better chance to win a championship before Luka. I mean, I'm just saying, you're talking team.
Yeah, I am.
He does.
It's disrespectful.
Hey, if you're talking about championships, we might as well talk to a champion, right? Not one time, but 2 times. When we return, hey, that's the man, the one and only Lane Johnson. Yo, that's one of the best that's ever done it, and he's still doing it. Lane Johnson joining the facility next. Eagles 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Like Santa.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Like these road trippers making waffles and eating fresh fruit in their natural habitat. The breakfast area at a Comfort Inn. I just love seeing a vacation maximized in the wild. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl just 2 years ago, ready to prove that they belong back there. Saquon Barkley is officially a bird.
Barkley leaps over a man.
No one's ever done this.
That is the craziest play I have ever seen.
255 yards rushing on the night.
A.J. Brown looked frustrated during the game, and after the game,
what are some things that the offense needs to improve on?
We're supposed to be a Super Bowl contending team. This is not acceptable.
An impressive win for the Eagles.
So that's what y'all want to see, huh?
There goes Barkley. This one sent him to the championship game.
Fly, Eagles, fly to Super Bowl 59.
I'm going to meet y'all in New Orleans.
It's Super Bowl 59 on Fox.
Hurts.
Going deep. Touchdown! The Vince Lombardi Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
Yo, this is one of my favorite interviews I think I'll ever do. We got 2-time Super Bowl champ Lane Johnson, former teammate of the one and only Shady McCoy, former teammate of myself. Y'all, he needs no introduction. 5-time All-Pro, All-Things Pro Bowl. Shady, you kick it off, man. You kick it off.
Listen, I had the pleasure to play with this young, talented dude. Now, when I had him, he had all that beard and all that. You know what I'm saying? But Lane Johnson, one of my favorite teammates, probably one of the best officers I've ever played with. Lane Johnson has arrived on the facility. What's up,
man?
brother?
Thanks for bringing me in, man. Yeah, no, getting ready for camp, and just a few weeks away, so it's coming on as fast.
Hey, Lane, let me start it with this. Y'all won a Super Bowl this year. Y'all went to the Super Bowl and lost in 22. You won a Super Bowl in 2017. What's the difference between this Super Bowl championship team versus the Super Bowl championship team in 2017 when you won it the first time?
I mean, I think a lot of it goes down to, like, turnover. You're going to lose a lot of guys to free agency and just trying to fill that void. But I just noticed going into that next season that you're going to get everybody's best shot. So we're getting prepared for that. I think we got, like, 11 playoff teams on the schedule. So, we got to get our mind right. or that's really what it goes down to, getting focused up because you're going to get everybody's best shot.
The secret I would suggest to the Philadelphia Eagles is Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland, O-line coach. I believe you're a Hall of Famer. Jason Kelce, a Hall of Famer. Jason Peters, a Hall of Famer. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but I played with all y'all. How good is and what makes Coach Stout the secret ingredient to the Philadelphia Eagles' success? What makes him so good?
He's so consistent. I think he knows how to push and motivate his players, and I feel like he's just a great teacher, not only in football but just in life. And I feel like he gets the most out of his guys, but I just think his consistency. I mean, he hasn't really changed since y'all have been in the building. He's been the same vibrant soul that he's always been. But yeah, he's just consistently the same person every day. And it doesn't matter what you've accomplished. He treats everybody the same. And it doesn't matter if you're a backup. You should be preparing like you're a starter. So I think that's why we've been successful all these years with all these different guys in the lineup.
Now, since we talk about Coach Stout, I think the conference game you guys played Commanders, right? And before the game, I'm talking to him. I said, listen, I need to know, right? How the hell are you guys blocking better than J.C. Kelce just retired a year ago? Now, he gave me a whole Stoutland answer. You know how he is. And I said, I can't use that on TV. So I want to ask you, Lane, tell me that. How the hell can you guys lose Kelce and then you guys are even better blocking unit the next year?
Yeah, I mean, it's not there's not like an individual that can replace Kelce, like all his traits that he had, like identifying the defenses, like his ability at the second level. But I think like adding Mekhi in there last year and having a guy who has like elite tackle length playing at guard, he just made the transition, I think, replacing Kelce with Cam and having Mekhi there. I just felt like it helped so much just with really pass block protections. But we just had a lot of big guys, man. I'm like the second smallest dude on the line, and I'm 6'6", 325. So we just had some big. Jason Peters used to call him the heavy Chevy. So we had a lot of heavy Chevys last year. But yeah, it's really one of the biggest lines that I've been a part of. So that always helped.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was out there with Charles Woodson. He said, "Shady, this is the biggest offensive line I've ever seen ever." My next question I want to ask you though is, now, all the success we talk about, right? The Saquon stuff going on, A.J. Brown doing great things, best wide receiver in football, in my opinion. You got the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, balling out. But you guys win a championship, now it's the next year. What do you think is super important for you guys to get back to that level of winning another championship? Because back-to-backs are extremely hard to do.
Yeah, like I said, we have a lot of turnover, a lot of new faces. So I just think building like continuity in camp and really like taking advantage of the joint practices that we have. And so, week one, we come out firing. But, really, I think we have, good leadership. It doesn't necessarily have to be an older guy, but, a lot of young guys taking initiative, being more vocal. And so, I think we have a lot of players that are mature beyond their years. You look at the cornerback situation with Q and Coop. So I just think we have, a lot of talented guys, but it takes a lot of cohesiveness, and you got to build that during training camp. And in the early part of the weeks or early part of the season, I would say, I think that's huge in getting the momentum of the season going right. Really like the first 4 or 5 games. So.
Well, Lane, before I hit you with the tough questions, like who would you rather block for, 2'5" or 2'6"? My first question to you is, who do you lose sleep over at night, if anybody? Like, if you had to block a Micah Parsons or a Myles Garrett, which one of them dudes, or maybe a guy we don't know that's keeping you up at night that you got to prepare for?
Oh, I know this answer.
Yeah, I mean, any of those names, I'm sleeping, one eye open at night. You got one of those guys. Man, I mean, those guys get your attention, but I'd say, like, probably the most underrated guy that I went against was Olivier Vernon. So you can ask all the guys, JP, Trent, Tyron. If they say there was one guy that could turn it on, low-key, it was Olivier Vernon. So shout out to OV, wherever he's at. He gave everybody a hard time, so...
All right, really quick, too, though. So, because, Shady and Saquon Barkley are different backs. Shady can make you miss on the dime, make you miss in the phone booth, cut something back, and, get busy. Saquon, more downhill, does have good vision, too, maybe a little bit more speed. What's the difference between blocking for a guy like Shady and blocking for a guy like Saquon?
Good question.
Shady talked a lot more trash. Yeah, he talked this is my first game ever. We're playing, the Commanders now, the Redskins at the time, and I remember being in the end zone warming up, and some fan was waving the Redskins flag in front of Shady. He went over there and was doing this, and then went over there and grabbed that flag and took it and started stomping on it. Then it was like 31-3 at halftime. I was like, man, we're about to win a Super Bowl that year. And I was like, hey. And I remember JP going, I never seen somebody talk so much trash and then go out there and go back it up every time. And I was like, hey, I ain't seen it like that either. So definitely a lot more trash talk with Shady. But both elusive. With me, I knew that I had, anytime they touched the ball, they had a chance to go to the house. So I think one of the best moves I saw Shady make was the Tennessee game. Titans on the left sideline. I don't know what you did. You broke him off, and it looked like hot sauce on the And One mixtape. So that was one of the best runs I remember from Shady.
Hey, Lane, obviously last year it ended as great as it could end, but what would you say was the hardest part of last season for the team?
Ooh, let's see. I mean, the Atlanta game was tough, just having a game that we thought we should have won. But, yeah, I just think probably the hardest game was the Rams game. I feel like they really, it could have gone either way on that one. So, really tough matchup. But, yeah, I mean, I would say, like, through all the Super Bowls, like, the feeling of losing one is like a more of an emotional thing than winning one. So, I'll never forget that. That motivates me. But, yeah, everything went right last year. It was fun. And
but you know what's crazy,
Andy,
though?
quickly moves on.
Before everything went right in the middle of the season, it looked like things were going to go wrong. Because you got A.J. Brown, he's reading books in the locker room after. We all been in that. Well, me and Shady, you being in that locker room. He just says, hey, what's the issue? Passing. And then that turns into a whole firestorm.
Yeah.
How did y'all right the ship? And who's the leader of the team on offense? Because when I was there, you could have said it was Vic. You could have said it was Foles. You were still a young bull at the time. JP, but he didn't really talk too much. He just hit us on the head before we walked out onto the field. So who was the leader? Who's the leader on offense, would you say?
I mean, Jalen, Jordan's very vocal. I get vocal sometimes, but, I mean, a lot of that stuff, like you see on camera, we'll go and address it in the team meeting like the next week, or we'll do, a lot of the older guys will go meet with coach and we'll talk about it in the room. So all that stuff that's seen in the media that can cause an issue or has caused distractions, we've all talked about it and
I love that.
And try to overcome it as man. But I think it's, when you have so many dynamic playmakers and they feel like, if we did throw the ball 50 times a game, AJ would probably, have the most receiving yards every year. And it's like, but you have Saquon in the backfield too. So how are you supposed to meet the demands of all these guys? So there is no right or wrong way, but it is hard to manage. And so that was something that we had to work on last year, mid-season.
So y'all had a meeting after that passing quote. Y'all had a meeting after that locker room incident, and like y'all addressed it as a team internally?
Yeah, I mean, so we'll have like the leadership group, so a few of the select guys. So I don't know if it was necessary after that game, but any like moments that cause distraction amongst the team, we talk about it usually within the next week.
Yeah. Well, that's good, though. I mean, obviously it worked out. You guys won a championship, and I do think that
but, I mean, I think the best thing about Nick is that he's a very good communicator, and so nothing is left, for the team to discuss. It's all, we all talk about it amongst each other, so which is good or bad.
Yep. I got two quick questions for you. One is, just speak about Nick for a second, and then my next question is, I want you to think about this. It's more personal. It's, answer the one with Nick first.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's, I think he's evolved, as he's become a head coach. There's things, he had some vocal stuff on the sidelines, but, he's addressed stuff with the team when he's wrong. And I think that makes him human, makes him vulnerable. And I think it makes guys, communicate more effectively with him. So, with everything, I think he's always seeking like good guidance. So usually when we have guys come and speak to the team, it's really worthwhile and you learn a lot of good lessons, but man, he's very passionate, and
yes, he is.
He's a competitor, and so I think we all realize that with him, and that's what gets us motivated.
Yeah, I love Nick. I mean, from me, just knowing him personally, and all the players talk extremely highly about him. But this one here is personal for you, from me. I want to know this, man. How do you stay elite? Because I remember at the height of my career, one thing I do regret is I took it for granted. Like first teams and all that, all pros, and it becomes easy, right? And then you can lose it so fast. So how do you stay motivated to be one of the top tackles in the game over and over and over again?
Man, I'm a creature of habit. Like if I'm not working out or training, like something I've been doing since I've been 17 or 18, I feel like, I'm getting out of line or I'm not, I'm going to fall off. So I just think, man, it's that fear of somehow like I'm not reaching my potential has always motivated me. But yeah, man, I stay pretty secluded in the off season, man. I'm low key. I have a gym that's close to the house, so I'm usually up there training, working with high school kids, college kids. But everything I do, I try to evaluate. Was I better than I was in previous seasons? How's my mobility? How's my strength? Stuff I need to work on. So, I'm just constantly evaluating myself. And I think, as an older player, a lot of guys, maintain their strength, but you can lose mobility. So, like a lot of me is working on mobility, staying limber, staying where, I can be explosive. And it's, how it is, man. When you get in your 30s, ankles and knees start creaking and cracking. So, man, it's, I have some bad days too.
Lane, my last one here for you, and I'm really not too proud to ask this question right now because my team, the Packers, started the vote. So really 2 questions. What you think about them trying to get the tush push up out of there? And what in the world do y'all do, and why are y'all so dominant at this tush push?
And we were 2 votes away from it being out. But, yeah, I mean, it's a play that, I think it's really hard on the center and both guards. Like the tackle does, Jordan's better at it than I am still on the backside. But, yeah, I mean, it's just the quarterback sneak. I never thought this play would come to such a big, debate stage that it has. But, yeah, I mean, it was one of these things that just slowly snowballed into something the past, 3 or 4 or 5 years. And, Kelsey was really good at it. I think just how we attacked it. And just, I think, again, it goes down to the size of the guys we have inside. Like Landon was 350, 360. Mackay's around there. Jordan's 360 to 380. Depends on where he's at. But we just have some big dudes, man. That's really what it goes down to.
Hey, Lane, real quick, Lane. If I was on that team, because they don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe me, but they don't believe you. If I was on that team and I was having a year that Saquon was having, and we talking about we doing tush push on the 1 yard, how would I behave in there, Lane? What?
I'd have to get a fire. I just had to carry a fire extinguisher. I had to put you out sometimes.
What? You taking 10 touchdowns from me? And I get the all-time leading rusher record, and you say I can't do it? Man, okay.
Lane, let me ask you this one, bro. 12-year career, 3 Super Bowl attendances, 2 Super Bowl championships. We remember when you got drafted, literally. What's your greatest memory thus far with the Philadelphia Eagles in all 12 years?
Good question.
I mean, there's not like the first time winning. And I think just because all the injuries we had and, Nick coming into that moment, and it was just, something that we weren't expected to do. But, that season, and then just really, I remember being a rookie and I'm in the huddle and I got Michael Vick in there, I got Deshaun Jackson, I got LaShawn McCoy. I felt like I was in Madden, Madden 13, Madden 14. It was, something that you grew up watching these guys on TV, and the next thing you know, you're in the huddle, you're in the locker room with these guys. So probably my biggest regret is not getting autographs, jerseys. I don't have the shady. I don't have anybody.
I'm gonna send you one.
Jersey. Hey, I ain't got nobody's jersey. So hey, that's my biggest regret, man. Over these years, I ain't done a whole lot of collecting. So
hey, last question before I ask about everything you got going at Cosm and with the O-Line Mastermind Summit. Jalen Hurts, people are highly critical of him. At this desk, we've been critical of him because he's not a traditional quarterback. He doesn't drop back and pass for 30 touchdowns, 35 touchdowns a season. I think the most he's had is 23, 24, but he's been to 2 Super Bowls, including winning one in the first 5 years of his career. What does Jalen Hurts do best?
I think his personality and how he handles just the brashness of, how Philadelphia can be. I think he's the perfect even keel temperament that we all need, in the locker room, coaches. I think he does a good job of, handling every situation. I feel like he's always been the same guy from when he was a rookie to, where he is now. So, I think I had the most respect for him because I see how he works every day. People see sound bites and clips from interviews, but they don't see what that guy's doing before practice, the work he puts in after practice, the day-to-day stuff. And I know y'all can relate. Y'all know different teammates y'all played with and put in time. He's one of those guys. So, I respect him, and hey, man, I laugh at him sometimes. I love how he handles the media and how some of the sound bites. He's very entertaining, and he's very funny when he wants to be. So, there's a lot of depth to Jalen that some people don't see.
Hey, lastly, we all love Cosm here. Shady and I were at Cosm in L.A. about 2 weeks ago for a Matrix premiere. Shout out to all the people at Cosm. You have your 8th annual Offensive Line Mastermind Summit, July, I think, 10th to 11th. Talk to the people about what you got going on with the offensive line at Cosm in Dallas.
Yeah, so basically we're getting all the top pro guys. Deion Dawkins, Tristan Wirfs will be there. Hall of Fame guys will be there. Baselli, Will Shields, but basically, we're getting college guys. A lot of the top guys in the draft will be there, and we're just talking ball. How to approach the NFL lifestyle, the training, the off the field stuff, and so you just get years of wisdom. With some of the guys that you get in the room, and so it started off with like 27 people. I think there was close to 300 last year, and so shout out to Duke Manyweather, my partner, for getting this thing rolling. Portillo's are going to be feeding us there at Cosm this year. So, basically I didn't have this outlet whenever I was coming into the league. I was new to the position. I really didn't have any understanding of who played, who was who, how they did things. And so, I think this is just giving a lot of people a lot of valuable time from people that have played, a long time in the league.
Lane, how many more years you want to play? 12 at a high level, 5 All-Pros, 6 Pro Bowls. How many more you got?
I'll sign for 2, so let's see. 2 will put me at 15 or 14, so, that'd be good, but it's one of those things like, I physically feel good, but there's also more to life in football. There's family, there's friends, there's life to live that y'all have gotten the chance to do. So, I may see what that's about, but right now, man, I'm feeling good for 2. So until then.
Real quick, Lane, you always be my guy. Play. Now, I'm not saying play till you can play no more, but to play till you're ready to go. Because once you're done and you hang them up, you can't go out there and get them back and put them back on. It don't work like that.
Yep. No, I understand that, man. I had a lot of good conversations with some of my ex-teammates, and, man, they all say the same thing. So, hey, I'm thinking about it.
Hey, real quick, I don't know if Howie told you, but, JP, they about to sign him back. Did he tell you?
Hey, come coach me.
Hey, that's one of the best that's ever done it and probably will ever do it. That's Lane Johnson, 5-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 6-time Pro Bowler. The list goes on and on. Future first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm speaking it into existence as we speak. Lane, you the man, bro. Best of luck, bro.
All right, brother.
Talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir. Hey, when we return, a big question about the best quarterbacks of all time. Ben Roethlisberger said he would take prime Aaron Rodgers over current Patrick Mahomes. We'll see what Shady McCoy and James Jones got to say about that after the break.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are 2 of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen in the NFL. But get this, Ben Roethlisberger took it a little further when he brought up an interesting scenario with these 2 quarterbacks. Take a listen.
Yeah. Well, I would take Aaron in his prime over Patrick now. I think Aaron Rodgers in his prime was one of the top few to ever do it. And so is Patrick Mahomes at his prime. Patrick Mahomes is just like entering out of his prime, I think.
You think?
I mean,
yeah, Big Ben.
Ben Roethlisberger says he would take Aaron Rodgers in his prime over Patrick Mahomes currently. James, who you taking, prime Rodgers or current Mahomes?
First off, hey, man, look at me. You don't have Big Ben and have us up here arguing, all right?
I don't take Big Ben serious, though.
No.
I don't take him serious.
No, man, I'm taking prime Aaron Rodgers. Prime Aaron Rodgers, and I agree with what Big Ben said in there. Prime Aaron Rodgers is probably the greatest we've ever seen play the quarterback spot. And I don't care nothing about no Super Bowls, none of that.
Yeah, they don't matter.
Talk about playing the game of football. prime Aaron Rodgers was cold-blooded. We talking about 4-time MVP. That means you are the best player in the National Football League. He has 4 of them. Not only that, turn your eyeballs on. All these quarterbacks we watch now, they want to throw like Aaron Rodgers, inside the pocket, outside the pocket. They are looking for that Aaron Rodgers. He changed the way you play the game at the quarterback spot from outside the pocket, for sure, throwing this football. Aaron in his prime was absolutely special. There was nobody better, in my humble opinion, to do it in Aaron's prime than Aaron Rodgers. And I don't care anything about them Super Bowls. Shady, McCoy.
That's right. That's right.
I know Acho with me, because Acho played against this boy.
That's your opinion. I mean,
That's my opinion,
he don't
dog.
care about championships. He don't get them championships. We don't play for that.
We do. He got one. We do play for that. But, man.
You can go. I'm going to go last. Yeah, I'm going to go last.
I don't think anybody's better than prime Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you, sir.
I just don't. Again, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think anybody's better than prime Aaron Rodgers. First off, Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP. So it's not as though Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a Super Bowl nor Super Bowl MVP. And I think he won those before his prime. I had to play against Aaron Rodgers, so you could say I'm biased. Aaron Rodgers could throw different. Aaron Rodgers could run well enough to make him be able to run different. Aaron Rodgers, from a platform perspective, one is different. Aaron Rodgers between the ears, different. Remember, Aaron Rodgers has 48 touchdown passes in one season and like 4 interceptions in the same season, beautiful people. In the same season. Mahomes goes crazy. Crazy. Mahomes will likely end up being the second best, if not the best of all time. But if you're talking peak, Aaron Rodgers also did this with the head coach who we don't know how good he is outside of Aaron Rodgers. Remember, Andy Reid, outside of Patrick Mahomes, went to 4 straight conference championship games, including a Super Bowl. Like, Andy Reid has already proven himself as well. There's nobody, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Terry Bradshaw, John Elway, Joe Namath. There is nobody, in my estimation, like prime Aaron Rodgers. Not like Aaron Rodgers,
This is silly.
but there's nobody like prime Aaron Rodgers.
This is really, like, seriously. We should do a podcast. This is podcast talk. Podcast talk is you just speak your opinion, right, with no real facts to back it up. Because if Aaron Rodgers is so great, how y'all say he is in his prime, how is it possible for you to only have 1 Super Bowl appearance?
Team success.
Well, that's what quarterbacks do. The greats we talk about,
They win championships.
they win championships. That's why we play the game. All the greats in basketball that we talk about, that's driving the bus, they so great. To say that if Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or LeBron James, right, because y'all say he's the greatest of all time in his prime, right?
In his prime. Yes, yeah.
Imagine dudes in a prime only even seeing the finals 1 time. That's embarrassing. And Big Ben, I don't really take a lot of these big, because Ben hates.
He's 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, one thing about Big Ben, if you play 18 years, you have no all-pros, not one first team, not one second team.
The championship.
This is just me. I don't respect players that talk about greats a certain way and you have nowhere the type of success they have.
Yeah, Super Bowls.
You play for 18 years. Hold up. You play for 18 years and you never was considered the best quarterback or the second best quarterback in football. I can't really joke with that. But let's go to my real take. It's not about a Big Ben here, because Big Ben playing around. So y'all said that Aaron Rodgers prime, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I would say from 2011 to maybe like 2016, that was his prime.
Yeah.
MVP, stats and all that. Let's go to that.
Killer.
So in his prime from 2011 to 2016, he's had 5 playoff wins and 0. I mean, like zip, like no Super Bowl appearance. So you to be that great.
You're going to team success.
I'm not going to disrespect Patrick Mahomes and even play that game with him. I'm not going to his prime eras. I'm not going to these years. I'm going to the last 2 years. Because you would say his last 2 years haven't been his best, correct?
Team success.
Patrick Mahomes' last 2 years haven't been his best, correct?
Stats-wise.
Bet, cool. And Patrick Mahomes, I guess, worst years of his career in his last 2 years. Not his prime, but his last 2 years. He has 6 playoff wins and 2 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah.
So that means...
Team success.
That means at his worst, compared to Aaron Rodgers' best, I'm always going to be in the Super Bowl.
Team success.
I'm always going to be in the Super Bowl.
So, to your take...
I'm not done. I'm not done.
I got some... I'm writing.
Because with Patrick Mahomes, the disrespect to say he's not even in his prime is crazy. So I'm going to play crazy with Big Ben, and I'm going to say, okay, he's not in his prime no more. He's not even 30 yet, but cool. But I'm saying at my worst years, Aaron Rodgers, I'm at your best. Because at your best, James Jones, you haven't even seen the Super Bowl only 1 time in your whole career. Okay. At my worst, I've been to Super Bowl back-to-back years.
So with your take, LaShawn Shady McCoy.
Come on, man. That's right.
Big Ben is better than Aaron Rodgers.
How?
He has 2 championships. Because you keep going team success.
Bro.
With your take.
You watch the games, don't you?
Did you watch prime Aaron Rodgers?
I have.
Because if you watch prime Aaron Rodgers, because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about team success. We're talking about Patty and Aaron as players. When you talk about a 4-time MVP in Aaron Rodgers and the way it looked in his prime, it was different than Patrick Mahomes. And it shows because he's only been the best one time in his prime. And he's still in his prime. I'm not going to go there with Big Ben either, but he's only been the best one time. This dude has been the best 4 times.
Yeah,
when you talk about just the player, the best player in his prime that we've ever seen at that quarterback spot is Aaron Rodgers. Team success, I won't argue with you. Plenty more quarterbacks got more Super Bowl rings.
Stop talking about, so first of all, the elite company we talking about, we're not talking about no Jalen Hurts. We're not talking about no Brock Purdy. We're not talking about no guys that just play around super talent and we just going to let the team do. We're not talking about them guys. We're talking about elite guys, correct? So let's be a little more respectful a little bit. Number 2.
You going to championship.
Hold on, Jay. I just talk. Number 2 is, for you to be so great, like y'all keep telling me he is, right? Because you keep saying how great he was. You tell me how he's one of the best of all time, the way he played in his prime. Tell me how it's possible for you to only have 1 Super Bowl appearance. But that's part of it, though.
That matters.
When we talk about great players, when we talk about the Jordans, we're going to talk about the MVPs.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the Kobe's, the MVPs. But we also going to talk about you winning championships. Let me keep going.
Keep cooking.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was a phenomenal, great quarterback, right? We talk about MVPs. We're going to talk about championships. Brett Favre. Everybody you can talk about. Tom Brady. I don't know who looks better throwing the ball with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you can tell the people that. But what I can tell you is their better quarterback won. He won stats and accolades, and he won championships.
Let me answer his question, though. Because he said, tell me how it's possible. I would suggest it was possible because Jordy Nelson was ready to receive an onside kick against the Seattle Seahawks. And if I'm not
mistaken,
to do this. But you said how it's possible. If you said how it's possible, that kept them from 1 at minimum. That kept them from another 1.
Time out. I could go to every player and say that with, man. I can say it, when the Chiefs played in 2020, when the Chiefs played the Bucks, he had both his tackles out. He ain't made no excuses about for this. What are we talking about? If I can say if this dude didn't catch the ball, if the Titans, when they played the Patriots and McNair throws the ball, it was a 1. He threw it too short. Right? It's a 1 year. Can we please not do that? Because that's not football.
But then if you're saying how it's possible, I'm only trying to give you the only reason I can suggest Aaron Rodgers, at least then go to another one. Because I don't bring up the Falcons, how the Falcons scored 40 points and Aaron Rodgers scored like 30 or 16 or something like that. Yeah. I don't bring up the egregious defenses because Shady is right. Quarterbacks should be able to overcome all of that.
What are you talking about? You're the best.
You should be able to overcome all of that. But at the point in which it's the very end of the game, the only one excuse, only one. I'm only giving Rodgers one excuse of his 20-year career. I'm giving him one, Shady. You got it, maybe a 1, just 1. The onside kick. It's an onside kick. All you got to do is recover. It's an onside kick. Just 1, Shady. I'm not giving him bad defenses because though there were, and I can hear that argument, I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give him injuries. The onside kick against the Seahawks, James, was it Andy? What year? 2016, 2014? I think 2014. The onside kick is the one I'm going to give him. I think it's the NFC Championship.
I want to ask one more question.
I got answers.
Name me another, because you guys are saying that he's so great.
Yes.
Name me another great.
Dan Marino.
Hold up. I think Dan was great. I'm a Pitt guy. But
Dan Marino was great.
He went to Pitt. I love Dan. I'm not going to put Dan up there with the Tom Brady's. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I just can't do that. A guy that won 7 championships. Yeah. You got Montana's won 3, 4, something like that. I'm not gonna put. I'm not gonna put
just championships.
Now, let him finish. Let him finish.
What do we play for, James? What are we playing for?
But I'm saying you can't in one sense say championships and then in another sense say Big Ben can't be in the conversation.
When you a GOAT, Big Ben's a good quarterback. I don't put him up there with the GOATs. When you're a GOAT, you have accolades and you have championships. That's what it is. There's Charles Barkley. It's great players in all sports.
All right.
And how you become GOATs is you win championships, bro, and you have accolades. That's how it works, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, name me another GOAT type player that as a quarterback that only has 1 Super Bowl appearance.
So what I will say to that is, because that's all you're going back to is Super Bowls.
You're not answering.
Let me do it again. James, for Aaron Rodgers to be so great, I just want you to name me.
There's nobody great like Aaron Rodgers that has 1. That's to answer your question.
Is there any other quarterback that's so great?
I would say Dan Marino, and he has none. He was great.
Okay.
He has none.
Okay.
But your argument of putting all these quarterbacks in front of Aaron Rodgers that you put in front of him, you always say championships. So hold on. So what I'm saying is Big Ben is top 10, top 5 in a lot of categories, which means he was a great player playing at the quarterback spot, and he's a 2-time champion. You wouldn't fix your lips to say he's better than Aaron Rodgers. Nobody in the world would. So all I'm saying is winning championships, you have to be a good quarterback, but that's team success. Individual Aaron Rodgers in his prime is the greatest we've seen at that spot.
What I'm saying is, so when we talk about GOATs, I don't fix my lips to say Big Ben's a GOAT. I never talk like that. No, I think he's a really good quarterback. I don't put him as one of the greatest. I don't do that. There's only a certain group that's going to sit in their seats, right? The Last Supper with Jesus and all that, those are disciples. Those are a special group of guys.
Just 12 at the table.
Big Ben's outside of that room. We talking about the elite guys, bro. So what I'm saying is, name me some elite guys. We talking about the GOATs, the greatest of all time. So it's only a couple seats. It's not a whole bunch of seats. So in them seats, just hear me out, in them seats, though. Because you can't be an all-time great type GOAT player without having accolades. You can't have that. You got to have some MVP. You got to have some first-team all-pros. You got to have them things, right?
So the two that
then you have that, and then you get into the champion. It's all together.
The two that I would have is Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers.
So who's Judas? Is just
I don't know. But Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers is at the table. And and the other dudes at the table, you're probably going to take Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers before some of them dudes. Still, because they have more championships.
That's because if we look at the GOATs, we got to go. But I'll say this. Patrick Mahomes is going to be eating with Joe Montana and Tom Brady. They're going to have a whole meal. And Aaron and them going to be waiting to get their food.
And in their prime, they all going to be behind Aaron.
That makes no sense.
It does.
But y'all friends, though. I get it.